Hi folks, Joblot Comics here, having a look at an old Bronze Age Conan. This is a king-size annual from 1976. It's Conan the Barbarian. Why is this noteworthy? It's because it's the first appearance of Conan's nemesis, arch-villain, Thoth Amon. Thoth, could you path the Thoth? So, yeah, we get a great king-size annual here. They threw quite a lot at this. You can see Roy Thomas, John Buscema, Young Montano doing the heavy lifting. We've got a great splash page here of Conan. And of course, these issues were always larger format things, much more pages than your normal. So they could go into sort of backstory and flashbacks and give you a little bit of world building for Conan. And then you could buy the Spider-Man Action Water Glove. Why would you not? So, yeah, we get the first entry into this annual here. The Phoenix on the Sword. Now, these are square bound. Makes it hard for me to flip through them. But you see there's the credits there. Look at this creepy dude. What the? And it's from a story by Robert E. Howard. So this is when they were still adapting the Robert E. Howard stuff. And, you know, Conan, his own monthly magazine, Barry Windsor Smith doing the initial run. And it was a little bit slow to get up and running. Conan at the time, Conan, one of those characters that actually does kind of age. There's different sort of ages of Conan. There was when he was young, and then he was a thief, and then he was a king, and then you know how that went. And I was never terribly interested in Conan. I know I was well aware of him. And then oddly enough, when they did those big black and white magazines of Conan, we used to get them in the UK. You could get them in different news agents and things. The problem was that they were sort of for mature readers, really. So it was the way Marvel could get around the comic code with a thing like Conan. Look at that splash page. Look, is that King Kull of Atlantis? Very odd. And yeah, so they could get away with a lot more violence and nudity and all that kind of stuff. So when you were a kid in the UK in the 70s and you saw one of those Conan magazines, it was, oh my god, will they even allow me to buy this? And then you had the kind of 4-colour comics like this one here, that were much more readily available. And, you know, they were all pretty good. It was all good stuff, I think, yeah. Conan had a huge following, probably still does. Don't think Marvel own the rights anymore. Did they go to Dark Horse? And I don't think I've read any of that Dark Horse stuff, yeah. But yeah, there you go. Here's some letters on the letter page. There we go. Who wrote this? No, it's just a text piece. Yeah, it's just a text piece to keep you up to speed with what's going on. Anyway, that's first appearance of Thoth Amon. Thoth. Heinth Thoth. So what you can do is buy this comic quite cheaply and keep it because it is a sort of minor key with the Thothamon thing going on. So if you see it, grab it and bag and board it, because if they ever do a Conan movie again in the future, Thothamon might be in it, and then you can retire on the proceeds from this book. Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you can. So nice of you to even watch at this point, and I'll see you on the next one.